Nation, it's your favorite hunting buddies, David and Dino. And you know what? We're late. That's per usual for us, but this ain't your this ain't your average bore fest. We ain't gonna sit back and just pull on our monkeys. We're here to amp up your game with some epic fails, pro tips, and everything in between. Tonight, we're going back to last week, 2 weeks ago. We're hitting you with the fan favorites, some hunting headlines, diving into the latest buzz in the industry. We're going to hit some trail camera treasures for a glimpse of some wild, untold stories that can only be told from the eyes of the woods. Moultrie Mobile, baby. And your favorite, my favorite, Dino's new favorite, Camo Confessionals, and we've got some good ones coming your way. So without further ado, Dino, what's up? First live.
Happy to be here.
I mean, congrats.
Not thrilled with the quality of my setup, but we're gonna get through this.
You look like Odell Beckham's got.
I know. I
you
look
like
I
your
got
ears
bling
are
on
blinging out
my
out
ears.
the wizzy.
I look like I'm. Yeah. I got.
For any of you that are just joining us as well, we will do a small Q&A at the end. So leave your questions in the comments as we go on, and don't worry, we're going to hit all of them. I promise you. For now, I just got to tell you, I am deadbeat exhausted right now. I'm not going to lie. I am just ripped tired because it's turkey season.
The turkey season will
Turkey season
kick
is
your tail.
brutal. We're 5 days into turkey season. I already want to sleep for a week and a half. But the problem is, you got to get up for turkey season. You got to get up. Can you tell I'm tired? You got to get up to turkey hunt at like 4 in the morning. And then after that, I got shit to do. And I didn't I got a list of things to do. We still got vlogs to edit and shit. And, it's already 8:15 Central Time, 9:15 Eastern Time. I mean, the Rec Boys are here. What's up, fellas?
Boys.
I don't know if it's Matt, Alex, or a combination of the two of yous, but we're happy to have you on board. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm beat right now.
Well, especially
I don't know
when
if
you
you
got to
could tell.
drive 45 minutes to an hour to your turkey hunting spot.
Holy shit.
Makes it worse.
Yeah, because then once you're there, like for me, once I'm there, it's like I gotta just go all in. Like I gotta go get after it. Today it was Today pissed me. Well, today I got down there. I literally got out of the truck, and it was like God created a waterfall over Rockvale, Tennessee. And it was just pissing. Straight pisser. And I'm like, well, this is fantastic. I've got all my camera gear. I've got a slate call and a box call that once they get wet sound like a dying chicken. And I can't use a diaphragm call. So pretty much you're just waiting in the truck.
Put your box call on the dashboard heater, on the defrost.
And crank the heat.
Let it get some dry heat.
I mean, brutal, man. But the birds were talking after it stopped raining. I gave it hell till noon. I was close again, but no cigar. It is what it is. It just is what it is.
And there's never time to nap.
No, there's not. Not
you
when
think
you
there is.
You want there to be.
You want there to be, yeah, but there's not.
Ain't no time to nap. There's no time to nap. All right, so let's hit them with some hunting headlines. This one's from Outdoor Life. Youth turkey hunters in Missouri broke a 7-year harvest record this past year. The 2-day season saw over 3,700 birds harvested. 2 days. surpassing last year's total by more than 1,100 birds. What?
That's crazy.
That's a lot of freaking birds. Either that or there's a lot of youth getting out there, and either way, that's good. Good.
It's great.
Get out there. And the youth, I mean, that makes me, that's good. It's good for the sport.
It's good for
the
a lot of
youths.
reasons.
Not good for the turkeys, clearly, but it's good for the sport.
Well, it is good for the turkeys because clearly there's a lot of them. If the population is not good, that doesn't happen.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. I didn't really think about it that way.
I would like to know what the was youth season in Ohio this past weekend.
Yep.
I would like to know what the harvest numbers were in Ohio because this is a state of a decline, and obviously that's proven because they had to go to one bird, whatever it was last year or the year before.
Yeah, I mean,
but God bless Missouri.
I mean, dude, but then in another breath, it says states continue to cut turkey hunting opportunities amid population decline. As a great turkey hunting decline continues, more states are cutting bag limits and roping off low production areas in hopes of saving future opportunity. Missouri, Kansas, and Texas are the latest states to tweak turkey hunting regulations in response to ever-shrinking populations. However, the question is, what is the impact of Middle America's turkey populations, or what is impacting Middle America's turkey populations, causing them to decline? That's a great question. I don't know.
I have some thoughts.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I just think it's the lack of, I believe nest predators are the biggest cause of the
decline.
I just think there's got to be trapping. Trapping is on a decline. I don't have numbers, but it's got to be. Because you don't see the people trapping that there used to be. I mean, we used to see them up in New York. We used to see guys going into the creeks and ditches and stuff like that, literally just trapping.
The crazy part is, they could just go onto your land and
trap
shit.
Or you just didn't care if they did because it was benefiting.
Sure.
Or at least you thought it was. But, I mean, they were everything. Beaver, skunk, raccoon, coyotes.
It's funny.
Trap.
One of the first comments on that post is predators make trapping great again. Oh, yeah. Another comment, stop shooting jakes. That might help. Well, hold on a second. Jakes cannot reproduce. Am I correct with that, saying that? I don't believe jakes can reproduce.
I thought they could. I don't know.
I don't think that jakes can reproduce. That's why they sit there and whack their willies in the field all the time. Because they're like, I wish I could do it. 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 Okay, I'll do it myself. I don't know.
I honestly didn't know that. But
I'm pretty sure jakes can't produce. So, shooting jakes. I mean, obviously, that takes down that generation of gobblers, clearly. But what impact does it actually have on the future turkeys if you shoot a jake or if you shoot a longbeard?
You're still taking a male bird out of the equation.
And that male bird that you're taking out of the equation, if it's a gobbler, is reproductive. So he's giving back.
Yeah.
He's sowing the seed, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to think about. So Mike Zuber, that was a dumbass comment. Because I bet you don't know that jakes can't reproduce. Here's one. Raccoons eat a lot of turkey eggs. No one traps them anymore because they aren't worth anything. How many do you see on trail cameras? They're out of control.
I 1,000% agree.
And you know what? I also, we have been coined the master baiters of YouTube. But I do think that baiting and like corn piles and supplemental feed has something to do with it, at least specifically in Ohio, because here's my thoughts. You got a corn pile, okay? Who's coming to that corn pile?
A lot of different things.
Pretty much all the animals. Squirrels, coons, possums, deer, and guess what? Motherfucking turkeys. Okay? So you got these turkeys that are coming to the corn piles. Well, if those turkeys are hen turkeys coming to the corn piles, especially this time of year, and then those hen turkeys go and lay a nest within a close proximity of that there said corn pile, well, now those coons, possums, and other rodents, so to speak, have fairly easy access to that said nest. And that's going to be dead turkeys all day long. Just my opinion. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but.
Yeah, and it's not even just a corn pile. Like, if you are a food plotter and you're planting corn, if you plant corn, you know damn well, what are you going to get a lot on trail camera? Coons. Sure. So it's all just they eat the same foods. And back in the day, we used to trap. If in Ohio, you just saw trappers.
Yeah, but trapping was cool.
Right now, if you're putting out corn piles for, in front of your trail cameras, if the weather is decent, the amount of coons you'll see on there is outrageous. Numbers I haven't seen in a long time.
And they populate like rabbits.
Yeah.
And they're all turkey egg eating fools.
What's a predator of a raccoon besides humans?
Coyote?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get one.
If I was a coyote, I wouldn't be eating a fucking coon. That's for sure. That dirty bastard ain't going in my mouth.
They're not gonna get them. They just climb a tree.
True. Here's a thought. I know there are many factors at play here, but poachers must face harsher fines. You guys need to start policing your buddies. At my last job, I worked with a bunch of backwoods good old boys, and they love to brag about how they didn't buy licenses, tags, or care about seasons. They stopped talking about that stuff around me when I told them I have called the DNR on someone burying piles of trash on public land. Call me a snitch, but because I care about maintaining our native floral and fauna. Do you think people have something to do? Do you think we're our own worst enemy? Do you think there's that many people that are poaching out there that are just whacking birds and not tagging them and not giving a shit and just shooting like 14 birds and
it doesn't happen, I'm sure, but is that the cause of population decline? I don't think so.
I don't either. Aren't there cicadas hatching this year? Isn't that mean like turkeys are going to explode?
Maybe next year. Maybe this is the start of the turkey boom.
I hope it is, because we need the turkeys back. The only good thing is up in New York on our property up there, the turkeys are back.
I would say they are pretty good, but there should be no raccoon season. Trapping.
Shoot them like coyotes.
Yeah, there should be no season.
Shoot them.
What are we protecting here?
Shoot them. All right, let's do one more. What do we have here? Truck full of salmon smolts crashes in Oregon, spilling 77,000 fish. into a nearby creek. Some 102,000 spring Chinook salmon smolts destined for the Imnaha River by the way of a tanker truck failed to reach their destination. A 53-foot tanker truck took a sharp turn a little too fast and rolled over. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife reports the driver was okay, but 77,000 spring Chinook salmon smolts entered the wrong river, while another 2,600 smolts died on the roadside. That's a bummer. And that's also crazy.
So he just happened to be by a body of water, and they all spilled.
Sounds like
there?
he was, driving next to the river. He was texting and driving his honey, and he just jerked that thing at the last second, and smolts went flying everywhere. And now a new river.
Funny. It's not funny, but how does this happen?
How does this happen? We got to read some of these comments.
You should be driving that tanker like it's full of gasoline.
They should have drove that by the
because people are crashing those things all over the place too. So
they should have drove that thing by the pond at camp. Could have had some smolts. One dude said, "I bet that smolt pretty bad." Wow.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Who counted all those on the road? And who, well, I guess process of elimination lets you know how many are in the river, but who counted all those on the road? That's crazy.
It was a guesstimation.
All righty then. That's some crazy shit.
And if they're by the river, why aren't people just flinging those things in? You're going to just let them flop on the asphalt?
Well, I mean,
I know there
probably wasn't like a boatload of there probably wasn't like a boatload of people around the river just getting ready to sling fish in. That guy was probably like,
if I was the driver and I was all right, I would be getting out and just like,
please live,
just
please
chucking
live.
them between my legs. Just get in that water,
please.
Even if it's the wrong water.
Get in the pond. Get somewhere. Please live. My boss is gonna kill me. What's the insurance policy on that?
You don't just have extra fish laying around.
You got an insurance policy on your smolts? All right. Well, R.I.P. to those 26,000 smolts, and God bless the 77,000 that reached H2O, and hopefully they're still swimming to this day. Prayers. Praise God, baby. All right, let's get into some trail camera treasures. What do you say? Trail camera treasures. You know, these trail camera treasures, we're going to showcase some captivating moments here on trail camera, from humorous to the awe-inspiring moments that we've captured. We've captured some pretty interesting things on trail camera. We talked about a few of them last time we were here, but one other scenario comes to mind. We're up in North Dakota, and this is after a couple years of us hunting up there. Well, no, it's probably like 5 or 6 years of us hunting up there. So we had our toes in the sand, so to speak. We got a handful of good bucks under our belt at this point, a couple of velvet studs, you know. I mean, why wouldn't people be following you around going, how'd you do that?
Where are you hunting?
How'd you do that? Were you killing them? Were you seeing them? Are you seeing any?
Send me cords.
Can I get your coordinates? Onyx map, waypoint me, baby. I want to shoot a velvet buck. So we're in North Dakota. Dean and I are searching around. We got our normal spots that we hunt, trail cameras all out and about, and we start searching on Onyx Maps. Onyx Maps. Check out Dean's hat. Onyx Maps. We started searching on Onyx Maps for some closer areas that are just intriguing on the map, I would say. And based on the open vastness in North Dakota, we look for a couple different things. One being water and the sloughs around it. The deer love laying in those that time of year. Number 2, trees. Any trees. 1 tree, 2 tree, a group of 4 trees. Doesn't matter. Just give me some fucking trees. And number 3, food. Okay? Corn, beans, alfalfa. Not necessarily in that order. So,
probably reverse order.
Alfalfa, beans, corn. Yeah, probably. Especially that time of year. So we find this spot on the map, and it's got all 3. It's got trees, and it's got a good chunk of trees. It's got cover. There's a big lake. There's sloughs around it, and it's got other cover in the form of corn, and it's got alfalfa. Big green field of alfalfa. So Dean and I are like, we got to get in there, and we got to see what the hell's going on in there. We put a trail camera up. We sprinkle some feed out. We start getting pictures of deer. And it's, a couple days here and there, and it's not, some forkers, some 6 points, a bunch of does. There's deer in there for sure. And then all of a sudden, holy shitballs. We see the mammoth of North Dakota, an absolute behemoth giant. How many points did he have?
A lot.
16 to 19, give or take.
Probably.
Maybe 15. I don't know. Tall tines, heavy rack, massive body. Looked like he swallowed a wine barrel. This deer was fucking huge. So, we got to get in there and figure out what he's doing. Put another camera up. Put another camera up. So, we got 3 cameras in there, okay? The one camera we got on video mode because there's a scrape in the beginning of September on this piece of property that is, I kid you not, the size of
a Volkswagen.
Like this. The size of like this right here. It's probably the windshield of a Volkswagen, realistically.
Sorry, I exaggerated.
It felt like the size of a Volkswagen when you're looking at a scrape like that in September. So, we put it on video mode, and we start picking this deer up. He's smacking this scrape, and a lot of the other bucks are smacking this scrape. He's in full velvet still. Some of the other bucks shed a little bit. Either way, they're hammering this scrape. We feel good about it. We got one.
He was not in velvet.
No, he wasn't in velvet.
But we never saw him. We never saw him in velvet.
You're right. See, nobody believes me now.
The other bucks he was with were all in velvet. He was not, though.
Yeah.
Which is probably why he was hitting the scrape the most.
True. But the other bucks were too.
Yeah, they were. And
don't leave them out.
Yep.
They were hitting it. The Coombies were hitting it.
We have proof.
We got a cell camera in there. We got this video camera in there. We got another camera, alfalfa side, just getting all the bucks munching on that greenage. Now, he kept getting closer and closer to daylight, so we knew we were onto something. And we had a rainy day. We slip in there, hang a set. We're overlooking, all the trees, alfalfa down to the left, cover up to the right. It's the perfect ambush. And we hang the stand, bad wind for that night, but the next night, Dino's going in there, and he's gonna kill him. Pretty much guaranteed, right? So, gets to the property, and there's already a truck in there.
This was what do they call it? It was walking hunting.
I guess that's what they call it in Kansas, but it was walking.
Woo-ha.
It was Neha, North Dakota, Nodak Weehaw. That's what it was.
Weehaw.
Nodak Weehaw. So anybody could hunt there. And
they were.
Unfortunately, they were. So Dino backed out. Don't want to step on anyone's toes. All fine, all good. Goes out I think you ended up going to a public land spot that night or something?
Yeah, I went to another public land spot. Yes.
Okay, so that night around like 9 o'clock, we get, and that's probably an hour after dark, we get two guys with a flashlight on our cell camera. And we're like, oh, damn, like, I wonder if he shot something, whatever. Not thinking ever that it could have been this deer. Well,
but you know he shot something.
But
They're
yeah,
not in there with flashlights after dark for no. They're
you
not
didn't
walking out.
You didn't want to believe it, no. But yeah, you knew that he shot something. So we go in the next day to check the video camera just to see if he was on there, because he was not on the cell camera. The buck, I'm saying, was not on the cell camera that night. So we go in and we check the video camera, and we bring the card back to camp, start scrolling through, and a couple nice bucks on there throughout the night. All of a sudden, it's him. We're like, holy shit, they didn't shoot him. And then what we realized was, yeah, they did, because he literally walked right in front of our cameras, and he had a massive hole in his side, and he did not look like he was enjoying himself at all. So we're like, holy shit, this is crazy. I can't believe they shot him, and then he ended up walking right in front of the video camera. So you could literally see what was him. Well, like 2.5 hours later at 11:30 at night, there's another video that comes in, and it's 11 people.
Yeah, I think
10 or 11 people, all with flashlights, and the guy that is right closest to the camera sticks his face in the camera like this. And he goes, man, them TAGNBRAG boys got a lot of cameras in here. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was speechless. What?
They knew it was us, and they knew it was us. And they followed. I don't know if they were following us or they were just what the deal was, but they knew it was us. We gave up, clearly, in one of our vlogs, we gave up where we were at and what we were doing too much, and they followed us. And the dude shot that deer, and they knew, like, that dude looked right into our camera, into the video camera. Probably had no idea.
No, he had no idea it was on video mode.
Right.
Which, that's crazy.
And he didn't take the card, which is cool. And he was just like, them TAGNBRAG boys, they got a lot of cameras in here. We're like, holy shit. That is crazy. I don't know. That was one of the weirdest feelings I've ever had as a hunter. Because
definitely,
naturally, I mean, and we, like, compared to other people, like, our following is not that big. So, but we still have people that follow along, and we're grateful for that and everything. But never did I think or believe that it would ever come to that point. And at that point, Dean and I didn't even know what to do or how to even move forward. It kind of like shell-shocked us and almost paralyzed us for a little bit, because our game at that point was trying to document what we did one day and edit and produce it for literally the next day. Like, getting as close to...
It was filmed during the day, edit at night,
and put it out, and so people... it. Yeah, so people could follow along that close. And I don't know. That shocked me to the point where I'm like, how are we going to do this anymore?
Yeah.
If we want to be... I mean, on public or on private land, you have a little bit more leniency because nobody else should be. Anything. You got to get pretty ballsy. But they can still go to a neighboring property.
Yeah, they can still, and we've still dealt with that. You know, people are on your ass.
But that was insane.
That's just, I guess that's the price you pay for filming everything you do. But that was nuts. That was really nuts, and there was nothing wrong with it. Like it was walking hunting land. It was just the fact that we showed a lot of what we did, and someone else watched it, and they were like, "I'm going in there." And you know what? I could have still gone in and hunted that night. You know, like
for sure.
All people on public would have done that. I was just like, you know, if it was me, I'd be like, oh shit, someone else is coming in here. My hunt's gonna get ruined. So I just followed the respect thing, and I just backed out. I'm like, all right, I'll let this person hunt, and I'll come back in here tomorrow or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was still just a very weird. Yeah, that was just a weird feeling. It definitely took the wind out of the sails for the trip. I think that was one of the few trips that we had since last year and the first 2 years we were there that we didn't shoot anything.
Yeah.
And then I mean,
to top that off, I think a other public piece that we were hunting, I went in there the one night and there was a truck in there, and we were like,
what in the hell?
What is going on right now? Like,
nobody bow hunts here.
No, people do, but states out there are so big and vast, and with the amount of people, like, you can spread way out and you just don't run into anybody. You know, there's just so much land, you don't run into anybody hunting, or at least we hadn't up until that point. And yeah, we felt like the walls were closing in, if that's even possible out there. But that was crazy. That was an eerie feeling.
It was definitely a different feeling as a hunter. You kind of think that you're going out there to get away from the people and get into solitude. And although, you know, we have people on social media following and commenting and all that stuff, like, you just out there, you feel like you're free. You know, you're free from all the bullshit and all the riffraff. But we weren't free, and we gave somebody one hell of a good buck.
Yeah. And then we were freaking out because we were, you know, the deer was not. It was gonna die, by the way, but it wasn't a good shot. It wasn't a good clean hit.
Yeah. Well,
so
we
were kind of like trying to figure out exactly who it was, so we're like, we could maybe help or point them in a direction, even though they were obviously on the track. But we were prepared to, like, start grid searching the close cornfield and some of the sloughs and stuff like that, because I'm like, yeah, we've got to go find this deer. This deer can't go for naught. It's definitely going to die. Yeah, and you get a deer that goes into a slough or a cornfield out there, and it could get lost
very easily, especially with little to no blood.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But they did recover the deer, so
God bless.
God bless.
And congratulations.
It was a giant.
Hell of a buck. All right. So, what do you, like, trail camera? I'm trying to think of, like, some other trail camera treasures. Like, what's, like, the coolest thing that you remember getting on camera? Or what do you... I mean, we've started to kind of experiment with setting cameras up on different spots. Like, we just set one up at camp on the dock post, and there's, like, geese, and there's wood ducks and mallards and stuff. Yeah,
that's just kind of cool.
Swimming right by. But it is kind of cool to experiment with the trail cameras and just put them in places and see what you
watching
get.
Wildlife in their element.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite spots to put them, this is non-deer related, but is if you find, like, a carcass of some sort in the woods.
Oh, okay.
Especially if it's got some meat on it still, where you're going to get the critters. That's fun. We've gotten some ridiculous trail camera videos on carcasses before. Dude. And I just thought of this because we did this a little bit ago, was put a camera on a beaver dam and watching beavers actually cool. Make a dam, which is out of control, how they stop that much water.
And how the lumber that they put in there.
There's some trees on our property that are, I mean, you would timber them. I mean, they're 16 to 20 inch in diameter trees.
Yeah,
huge, and they're dropping these things,
dude. And the crazy part is when you get into the areas where they're literally chewing like 5 trees in a line. and they're chewing them, but they're only gonna drop one of them, but that one is gonna drop all of them.
Yeah.
How did they know that shit?
Smart
Incredible.
Animals, but that's pretty cool too. But yeah, from the carcass standpoint, I mean, we've had ridiculous footage of bald eagles,
Hawks, bears, coyotes.
Bears literally coming in and dragging a deer carcass out of the frame, especially cubs.
Yeah.
We've had a couple years ago, I put a camera on a carcass on video mode, and it was kind of in the middle of this like meadow. So we put the trail camera on a wood post, and a sow bear came in with, I don't know, 2 or 3 cubs, and the one cub just picked the wood stake right out of the ground, and literally was like, we have footage of this. It was like
forgot about that.
Selfie style, holding the freaking wood post while the camera's going, and it's just like, it's got its back legs, and it's holding it with the front legs, and it's got its back legs like rolling around with this thing, just grabbing it and playing with it. And then he left it on the ground, so it's on the ground kind of facing out, and then you see him just running away with the whole carcass. So when we got back to check that, or grab that camera, it's on the ground. It's laying on the side.
Carcass is gone.
Carcass is gone. The camera's on the ground. We're like, what the hell happened back here?
Crazy that there was like a group of, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 jakes that came up to the one deer carcass.
Yes, and
they're just like
so curious.
Yeah. And even deer coming right up to a deer carcass. Pretty wild to actually, to see everything that comes and checks it out and utilizes it, I guess.
Yeah. One of the things that was on it the most, probably that was eating, that I didn't expect was Fisher.
Oh. I don't think I ever saw those.
Oh, we got so many Fisher on a few of those carcasses that were just eating like the rear end and weird stuff.
I don't like those things. I don't like them at all.
Like big ass ferrets.
They're big ass ferrets. I don't like ferrets either. Our neighbors used to have a ferret. I didn't like it. I didn't. I'm not a ferret guy. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. All right, folks. That's enough with trail camera treasures. It's already boring me. And I said we weren't going to bore you on this show. So let's get to our favorite segment. What is it, Dino?
It's Camo Confessions. Confessionals?
We're going to the Camo Confessional, folks, and we are not coming out without stirring your thunder. All right. We've got a couple Camo Confessionals that have come in over the past couple of weeks, and I want to read a couple of my favorites to you, if you don't mind.
I want to hear them.
Okay. I don't have to name any names, but I would like to talk about them. All right. This is kind of a long one, but we're going to get through it anyway, and we're going to get through it together. So bear with me. Camo Confessionals. It was a rough season, and we got permission to hunt on a piece across the street. It was an elevated area above a lake. However, it was one of the worst swamps that I've ever been in. Made my way, needed to make a push. I realized after playing hopscotch from grass piece to grass piece and methane coming out of the swamp patches that it was going to be tougher than I anticipated. After wading through the swamp, I found a logging road to go back towards the road, not bumping anything even through the swamp. I've always heard of quicksand being in the area, but never believed it. What I thought was a puddle turned not into quicksand, but lightning sand from the movie Princess Bride. I instantly went down to my hips. Thank God. Holy shit. Thank God for the Bear Grylls show that was on at the time. Using my shotgun, I shimmied my way out. My old football coach kept ringing in my head saying, high knees, high knees, high knees. Haven't been back in the swamp since.
Hell no.
Dude, fuck quicksand. Fuck that. No. Can you imagine by yourself? You think you're stepping in a puddle and you just go down to your hips?
Yeah, and the more you freak out, the worse it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
But that is funny because I've seen that Bear Grylls episode, and you actually, whether that dude was fake or whatever or not, you learn a lot.
He knew some shit.
Because it's kind of the same as
falling in the ice.
Yeah, same as falling in the ice. You got to spread out the surface area.
Get yourself big.
Flat, like a flying squirrel.
Get yourself big.
It's good to learn that stuff.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, I wonder if that thing could literally, if that would literally like swallow you whole.
Oh, I'm sure it would. Have you ever seen some of like the excavating equipment falls
stuck
into like one of those sinkholes, and you think there's got to be a bottom to these things? Like, no. I've seen some that are literally under the cab of a huge excavator, and all that's sticking out is it's crazy.
That is some scary shit right there.
But if you think about that, you're going down below your head.
Oh, and if you're not with anybody, I would imagine once you're past your hips a little bit, like, that's a tough out.
100%.
That's a tough out.
It's your whole base is stuck in there.
That would be horrific.
It's in my head now.
Can you imagine that? You're just walking through the woods with your gun, and you think you're stepping in a puddle, and
it gets nerve-wracking when you step in some of that muck, quicksand, and you go like most of your boots covered, and it's crazy how much it grabs your boots. Yeah. Like, you can't get out of that, and then you start like getting a little nervous.
It's such a suction, and like the weight that grabs you is so insane and so intense.
The earth is just locking onto your soul.
Good Lord. That makes my heart thump a little faster.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back in the swamp either. That's petrifying.
No. I mean, what if a deer steps in there? Same thing's happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
How's a deer not going all the way through there? They're going in. That's all there is to it.
I've seen videos too of animals stuck in that kind of mud. Horses and shit.
That's like getting stuck to one of those mouse traps that are just goo.
Sticky pads. That's worse
just
than
like,
that because they can't go down. They're not drowning. They're just stuck.
Oh my God. You're not even drowning. Like, you're suffocating.
Yeah. Screw that.
Like the Replacements, when they're like talking about their fears, and they're like, "Hey, what's your fear?" And who says quicksand?
That's Shane Falco.
Oh yeah. Falco says quicksand.
A couple of them are like bees. And
bees,
then someone's
spiders.
Like spiders. Oh yeah, spiders.
Oh yeah, when you crawl up your arm. And then they're like, and then Falco's like, quicksand. And fucking Clifford Franklin's like, oh, quicksand's a scary mother, man. I mean, first of all, it suck you right in, and then you get all that muck in your mouth. Clifford Franklin.
Coach is
Clifford Franklin going up to get it. Clifford Franklin coming down with it.
The Browns should sign Clifford Franklin.
We'd probably be
then
better.
Coach is like, I don't think that's what he meant. And then Clifford Franklin's like, yo, what's up, Shane?
Oh, what a movie.
Gosh.
What a movie. All right, moving on.
Miles and miles of heart.
Miles and miles of heart. God, I love Falco. That's who the Browns need, Falco. Not Flacco. Falco.
Or Flacco.
Oh, I would take Flacco for sure. Oh, it's a bummer. Anyway, Camo confessional number 2 comes from another young man off of Facebook. I was wearing Sitka open country after an evening hunt. Walked into Pizza Hut to pick up a pizza. First of all, let me stop you right there. What are we doing here?
That's quite the combo.
What are we doing
You're
here?
investing all that money in Sitka.
And you're going to go smell like marinara and
because
Parmesan.
You know, have you put a takeout pie in your vehicle?
It smells for 4 days.
You can come back in there the next morning when you're going to hunt. That thing smells like pizza.
And the pizza's not there anymore.
Hasn't been there for a while.
Especially Pizza Hut.
Yeah, a lot of garlic and oils. Gosh.
Anyway, onward. I was wearing Sitka Open Country. What one's the Open Country? It's got to be the rocky one. Look at like the rock looking one, because the Subalpine is the one that I like the best. That's got like more of a brown greenish to it.
Yes.
Open Country, I feel like, has got to be what they refer to as I look like a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I look like switchgrass or a rock.
I was wearing Sitka Open Country after an evening hunt. Walked into Pizza Hut to pick up a pizza for the family on my way home. The older lady working the register handed me the pizza and said, "This one's on me. Thank you for your services." I just looked at her for a second, turned around, and walked out. So he took it.
Oh my God.
Took it. The dude took the pizza. That's actually a great confessional, because that is actually a confessional. He took the pizza, and he's not even a military man.
Truly a confession.
Hey, you know what? Moral of the story on this one, at least Sitka's good for something. You know what I'm saying?
At least it's paying you back a little bit.
If you would have been wearing Subalpine, you would have got breadsticks with that bitch, but you weren't. That's hilarious, actually, though.
Would you do that?
Would I do what?
Would you walk out, or would you be like, I would love to?
I feel
thank
like
you, but that's hard because
that's hard. Yeah, you don't want to make her feel bad in the moment.
Taking credit for like protecting the country is
can't do that. I can't do that.
I wouldn't feel good about myself for at least the rest of the night.
I mean, that's a funny story. Like that's very
if it's a pizza
that's
place,
harmless fun.
If it's a pizza place that you don't frequent, I guess take the pie.
Maybe leave him a tip. You know, throw him a tip jar.
Definitely leave him a great tip.
Yeah. Here's a 20. Thank you. Thank you for thanking me type thing.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
You know, because it's also what you got to take out of the story is it's also cool that the pizza place did that. Like, acknowledge that. So I think
so glad you said that.
Part of a good part of the story.
Because that's American. That's patriotic. She cares. You know.
She cares, yeah.
I mean, that people don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Most people, they would see, you know, Mr. Open Country walk in and be like, why is he wearing that?
I mean, was there a military base nearby?
Dude, I don't
Obviously,
know.
we don't have these answers, but
yeah, I don't know.
Really, the moral of the story is God bless the woman or man, whoever it is, working the pizza place that is willing to dish out a pie on behalf of the military in America. It's good stuff.
I agree. That could not agree more. Fantastic.
Proud to
so
be an
I
American,
actually,
where at
least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave their life to me. Dude, that song played after the first quarter of any NFL game after 9/11. My goosebumps were like little arm boners.
Best part of the whole game.
And a lot of times at the Brown Stadium, they flew over. They flew a jet or two over.
There's like a little section of police, firemen, military, whatever. They would be like sitting together, and then they show them on the camera, and everyone's like, "Let's go,
let's go, America,
dude!"
How are we so united? That was a little over 20 years ago.
Do they still do
what
that
has
anymore?
Changed? Yeah. Kid Rock Bar, downtown Nashville, Broadway. I'm pretty sure everybody that sings in your set has to be a national anthem and proud to be an American.
God bless.
Almost. Because
God bless.
when Kyle was down here the other couple weekends ago, we went there twice. 2 different people singing, both at some point sang that. Both of them.
God bless.
Kid Rock, man. Guy's a hell of a model American.
If you don't feel, I don't want to get, we don't need to get, if you don't feel that in your soul, then you're part of the mindset of division, in my opinion. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
if you just don't have that patriotism in you. You got are you for America? I don't know. That stuff gives me goosebumps.
Well,
it's a good experience.
The question is, what are you for, or what are you supporting?
America.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if you don't, if that doesn't fire you up, if that doesn't rattle your bones a little bit, what are you? Where's your head at? What's your motive?
You don't have the real word is patriotism, but you don't have the will, the drive to want this country to be great, in my opinion.
Man, that sucks.
That sucks.
Cuz then you really don't want to be great.
Or you just don't appreciate you don't appreciate the freedom and everything that this country gives, and the people that sacrifice to give that. You don't appreciate it.
Yeah. And
that spirals into a whole bunch of other issues.
But the thing, I think we kind of get in our own way, and we're going, but
into a
we get in our we get in our own way a little bit, because it's kind of contradicting when we're a work in progress. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It wasn't, America didn't always look like this, for the better, for the worse, whatever, but we're we're a work in progress. I mean, women didn't have rights many moons ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, slavery is a major issue, and that, that's fairly recent, but also we've come a long way from that. We've come a long way from that. We're not perfect, but we've come a long friggin' way.
There's always things to improve on, and there's always issues that people can disagree. That's fine. But just for a moment during a damn ball game, let's just be proud to be American. Let's come together, unite, and be proud to be American.
Yeah, I agree. It ain't going to hurt you.
Be together.
It ain't going to hurt you. Before every elementary school class I had said the Pledge of Allegiance. Stood up and said the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone. Probably they don't even probably know the Pledge of Allegiance anymore.
Probably not.
Sad. I got a Camo confessional.
What is it?
And it's from me.
Oh.
So it's not, normally these are anonymous, but I'm telling you guys, this one is from me. So, last year, during Rut Week, we were all making dinner in the kitchen, and you guys sent me out to put the loins on the grill. We had a lot of loins. I think there was a full back strap, maybe cut into thirds. There was some sausage. There was a lot of meat on the grill. Well, I had been sitting all day, and I guess you could say my motor functions were not running at 100%. Because what happened was I was grilling, and I'm flipping, and I bumped a loin off the grill and onto the garage floor.
Ooh.
But then the next thing that I did was I just put it right back on the grill. Really like nothing happened. And fortunately or unfortunately, I believe the grill takes all of the bad stuff away. But I brought it back inside. I rested it with the rest of the meat, and we ate it all.
How long was it on the grill? You burned it off.
I feel like it probably would have burned off a little bit, but I felt like it should have been something that I said to my comrades in the moment.
Why?
But I didn't.
Give us the thought in our head that maybe we should eat this, maybe we shouldn't, or we should just all enjoy it. And you shouldn't.
We all enjoyed it, and we're all still here. So it's.
Well, thanks for telling me now. I mean, if in your defense, our grill at camp has a slight lean to it.
It does.
It
does, and the legs have a give.
The hips kind of just like, they're like leaning on one side.
That grill is like Shakira.
It's just getting a little tired. Yeah. So if you bump it, there's got to be a little bit of a, like dogs and brats. I've seen them tend to roll on that thing.
Oh, they roll. They roll. And it did. It came out, and it kind of, like, what happened was it kind of, like, hit the knob and then
hopped over
right onto the ground. There was even a piece of gravel on it that I had to flick off before I put it onto the grill.
I had to say something. As long as it wasn't on there for a while, you put it back on. If you would have just taken that, like if it was done, and you would have just put it into the summit tin to rest, probably would have not been as cool of you.
Well, venison you got to keep rare, so there wasn't much more time to keep that thing on the grill. So I gave it a little flash.
A sanitizing flash.
I gave it a sanitizing flash, and we let it ride, baby.
I'm good with that.
It probably made us better, Boosted the immune system a little bit. You got to rub some dirt on it.
I think that I agree. That makes your immune system stronger. Sometimes
I think
you gotta eat stuff that's on the floor.
It is what it is. There's things that, they happen.
Well, you're not going to waste a whole loin.
Fuck no.
Hell no.
Fuck
If you would have told us that, if it was on there, like, if you would have knocked that off the grill, didn't know it, and then you, went back inside to grab some, I don't know, maybe a seasoning or something, came back out, realized it was on the ground, and then we're like, oh, shit, grabbed it and put on, I still would have probably eaten that thing.
Yeah, I think so, too. Loins are hard to come by.
They are, especially this year.
They are. I look at it now. I would roll a loin in gravel and throw it on the grill for seasoning.
Give a little crunch.
And eat that thing right now, because my freezer has less loin in it than I care to admit.
Yeah, so you do anything for a little gravelly loin.
I would. I did.
Yeah.
But I just had to feel like I felt like I had to tell you that because, it might happen again. But the good news is we all survived the first time, and,
won't be the last.
No. You got any Camo confessionals, or you just
you just don't do anything wrong?
You just don't do anything wrong, do you?
I would say, man, I don't know if I got to think of something from recently, but have you ever, when you're hunting in cold temperatures, specifically archery hunting, I actually remember this specific instance. This was before I had ever tagged a buck with my bow. Okay. And it was a cold, windy, late October afternoon. And I was sitting I was at camp sitting. I was by myself. I'm sure you were close by, but I had this 6-point come into, 8 yards. He was literally right below me, standing right below me. And I was shaking like a leaf. And I had been sitting there. This was last half hour of the day. And I had been sitting there, and I grabbed my bow, and I I clip in to yank that thing back, and I pulled as hard as I freaking could. And I didn't even get that thing halfway back, dude. The tree stand was shaking. So
you couldn't get it back?
I couldn't get it back, and it was breezy. Like, I remember we used to bush in all the camo on the ladder stands.
Dude.
It looked like a friggin' duck blind. Like,
yeah, worse.
We used to cut every limb and sapling down in the woods and lean it up against the ladder stand to make it look bushy. But I remember the leaves and everything around me were literally, like, it was blowing. This deer had no idea I was there. No idea. But yeah, I go let down again, and I'm like, take a deep breath. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. So I like go, dude, I tried again as hard as I can, dude. I was literally like almost grunting. And dude, I wasn't even close. I couldn't even, like, I was locked up. I couldn't do it. I think I tried one more time, and then I literally was like, holy shit, ain't coming back. I literally just hung my bow up, and that stupid, it was a 6-point, dude. I was about to blast this thing. It was like a fork, you know? He was right underneath me, and I literally hung the bow up, and I watched him walk away. But I remember I specifically did not tell anyone that. Like, I think I told everyone I saw a 6-point. But I did not tell anybody that he was literally right under my tree. I was trying to shoot him, and I couldn't pull my bow back.
You couldn't get it done.
But I've had, like, instances where in the last, 5 years, especially with a bad shoulder, but if you're sitting for a while, 3-4 hours in the cold, and, like, I'll go to pull my bow back, and
kinks you up a little bit.
It kinks you up. And I'm like, you struggle the first time, and you're like, Jesus, like, thank God something big didn't come by, because although that probably gets the adrenaline going, but it didn't for this 6-point. And
little Dino couldn't get his bow back.
I couldn't get that little pecker back. I was trying. I almost put my foot in that thing. Pull it back like a crossbow.
Give it the old dig them heels in there, get that thing back. Try to get that arrow off. Any way you can, man. Any way you can.
Yeah, I didn't have the pride to tell anyone that I was too big of a pansy to pull my bow back.
Hey.
At the time, too, it was probably like, I was probably trying to pull like 50 pounds.
You're a better man for it now. You're a better man.
I also had like probably a one-piece suit on and 6 sweatshirts underneath.
Yeah.
And yeah,
gloves
I was like
that
the Michelin man. I couldn't, just wasn't happening.
No. I've been there. Well,
I've been there.
That's a wrap. I believe that's a wrap. Tag and Brag Nation, thanks for joining us on this wild, epic journey once again. I apologize. My brain is working about 34% right now because my mental fatigue is setting in. Going turkey hunting tomorrow. You going turkey hunting tomorrow?
No, because it's not season yet.
You can't turkey hunt tomorrow. That's crazy. Well,
I'm soaking in. Well, Southern Zone in Ohio opens up this Saturday.
Ooh.
I may try to migrate a little south.
Oh,
get out there in the bush a little bit.
But don't tell anyone where you're going.
I'm not.
Don't tell anyone.
Someone will be there already.
Yeah.
But I'm soaking in the last 3-4 days of not having to wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Soak it in, cause once it gets there, you don't get a bird the day before. You're like,
why is it so addicting too? Like,
it's because like
you can take a morning off, but you don't want to.
But you don't want to because that morning that you take off is going to be the morning. Yeah.
There'll be thunder.
You got to at least go see if they're talking. You got to at least go see if they're talking.
You got to go. You got to. And it's so like it's so early that by the time you're done or hopefully done, you still got, you can go turkey hunt before work a lot of times.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's not even like, it's not like deer hunting where it's like you got to commit to a half or full day. It's just
right.
The time is there and you got to take advantage of it. But gosh, damn it, it's lack of sleep, especially because the days they're getting long now.
Mm-hmm.
So daylight's going well into the evening. which I love.
Oh, yeah.
But God bless. Go kill one in the morning.
I'm going to kill one.
Is it going to be raining?
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be sunny. Sunny in the morning. They should be chuckling.
We'll dry out them damn calls.
I'm going to dry them out. I got them on the dash right now. My truck's still on since this morning.
Dry heat's kicking.
That wood's going to be friggin'... Hold on, let's see. I'm just check the weather for you guys real quick. Sorry, just hang in there with me right now. Morning, it's going to be 63 degrees at sunrise, partly cloudy, giving some fantastic cloud cover. And it's really not going to warm up that much till later in the day, which is great. Makes me happy. Let me kill one tomorrow.
I think you are.
I'm going to kill one tomorrow.
I think you are.
Well, Tag and Brag Nation, that is a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this wild journey again tonight. Remember, the stories that we share are just the beginning. The great outdoors is a never-ending adventure waiting for you and your footprints to step into the woods and get a taste of it. We can't wait to see you next time when we dive into some more hunting headlines, some more trail camera treasures, and your favorite camo confessionals. By the way, if you would, or if you have a camo confessional, send it our way. Shoot us a DM, message us on Facebook, shoot us a message on YouTube, DM us on Instagram or TikTok, wherever. But we would love to hear your stories. We'll keep them anonymous, but this is fun to, talk about different things. Like walking into Pizza Hut in a Sitka costume and getting a free pizza because they think you're one hell of a model American.
Don't filter it. This is just the time to let loose and be. This is what we do. Not everyone's perfect, and if they say they are while they're hunting, they're full of shit.
They're full of shit. There's a lot of people full of shit out there on the interweb.
There's a lot.
Speaking of the interweb, if you would all follow us on all of our social medias for the latest Tag and Brag news, keep up with our latest vlogs on YouTube, and some of our favorite short content on TikTok and Instagram. We will be having a new vlog that will launch tomorrow for turkey season. Excited about that. And in the meantime, stay wild, stay free, and remember, Tag and Brag Nation, every day is an opportunity to make your mark. We will see y'all soon in the great outdoors.
Let's go. God bless America.
Peace. God bless America.
Be proud to be an American. Sing that song if you have to, honestly.
I wish I had that song queued up right now.
Put it on in your kitchen.
Hell of a time.
Put it on in your kitchen while you're cooking dinner.
Tag and Brag Nation. See you next Wednesday.